Week 4 was another bust. We were close on our 2 6-leg parlays, but when it comes to betting, being close isn't good enough. Welcome to week 5 of Coop's College Football FanDuel Parlay Picks, and we're going to try to redeem ourselves this week and make a little bit of money. What's going on, Canes fans and my college football family? As always, do not forget to leave a comment on this video. Any comment, it doesn't matter what it is. And if any of our bets hit, I will share some of the money with some random comments down in the comment section. And I did that last week in our week 4 parlay picks video, courtesy of our Miami Dolphins bet that hit. We won $265, and I sent some money to some of you guys in the comment section. And because of that, we are positive $215 so far in 2023 with our sports bets. We've bet $60, I believe, in total if you count all of my NFL bets, and we've won $265. So that puts us right at about positive $215. But you guys know my motto: low risk, high reward. So there is a chance that most of these parlays don't hit, which is why I tell you guys these videos are not betting advice. I need to make that very clear. This is just the picks that I make, and I'm just sharing them with you guys. Also, keep in mind that if you're going to bet on sports, make sure that you are of legal age and you are in a legal state. So again, I don't mind missing on a lot of these because we're only betting $5 or $10. And that's why I say 4 weeks in, we've bet 50 or 60, but when you hit and you win that 265, you recoup most of your money pretty quickly. Now, I do want to talk about the bets that did miss last week. Our first 6-leg parlay here was very close. Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin let me down. I promise you I'm not betting on Lane Kiffin anymore for the rest of the college football season. And Notre Dame let us down. Ohio State came back and won in that game. And our other little parlay here was much worse. NC State squeaked by Virginia. Texas Tech lost to West Virginia, and Wake Forest ended up losing to Georgia Tech. So it was a tough week last week for the college football bets. But let's jump into week 5, and we're going to keep the same motto. We're going to keep chugging along and see what we can do here. And I think we're going to go for another 5 or 6-leg parlay. Now, the very first game that I am going to bet on this week is I'm just going to take Louisville straight up money line over NC State. After seeing NC State just barely squeak by last week against a bad Virginia football team, Louisville's offense is playing pretty well. I was looking at their quarterback's numbers, Plummer, and he's doing good. He's doing good overall this season. And I realize this is a Friday night game. It's at NC State, but I'm pretty comfortable taking Louisville here, and I think that would keep them undefeated if they win this game. So we're going to go ahead and lock that one in. I wanted to bet on this Utah-Oregon State game, but I just can't make up my mind. It's a Friday game again, just like the Louisville-NC State game. Utah is still waiting on their quarterback Cam Rising to make a return, and there's been rumors that he might, but nothing is for certain just yet. Utah's undefeated. Oregon State does have a loss, but it was to Oregon, and it was only by 4. So with that being said, I said all that to say this: I'm not going to bet on that one, but I'm definitely tempted to. I'm not going to lie. Same goes with Kansas and in Texas. I just can't touch it. Florida and Kentucky is just too close to say because it's at Kentucky. I am, however, going to drop a money line bet here on Clemson and Syracuse. People, I think, are still underestimating Clemson a tad. I realize they had that crazy upset game week 1 against Duke. Duke is a pretty good football team, it seems. They lost to Florida State, but they had an opportunity to potentially win it. They missed the field goal. I don't think Syracuse is an okay football team. Let me say that. They're an okay football team. It's a home game for them. But I still think people are underestimating Clemson a tad. I don't think that Dabo goes to Syracuse and Clemson actually loses that game. So I'm going to take moneyline Clemson in that one. Tempted also to lay the points here with USC as a 21.5-point favorite over Colorado, especially with what we saw in the Oregon matchup last week. But I'm not quite as comfortable. USC's defense does have some issues. Colorado will score some touchdowns in that game. So I'm actually going to stay away from that one as well. Trying to ride the fence here and be a little conservative, but still juice up this parlay a bit so we can try to make some money. With that being said, I'm actually going to lay the points here with Michigan as a 17.5-point favorite over Nebraska on their turf. Nebraska is really not that great of a football team. What's interesting here with Michigan is they're averaging only around 31 to 32 points per game, but the most points scored against them so far this season is 7. With that being said, I think that Michigan their defense can shut down Nebraska. So I feel pretty comfortable laying the points here with Michigan and going 17.5 with them. The next one that we're going to look at, I think, is LSU. Let's keep scrolling here. LSU and Ole Miss. And what did I just say? What did I mention at the very beginning of this video? I'm not betting on Lane Kiffin ever again. He let me down last week against Nick Saban. I thought that he could win. I'm taking LSU money line. I'd be tempted to lay the points here at 2.5. It's Ole Miss at home, but LSU is a pretty good football team. Might even, I don't know if I want to say this. I don't want it to sound like I'm overhyping them, but LSU might be one of the best teams in the West, in the SEC possibly. I think that they actually beat Ole Miss by quite a bit even. With that being said, you would think I would lay the points, but let's play it a little safe here, and we'll just go money line with LSU. So we're currently at a 4-leg parlay, and we might just go one more because this one's going to be one that I think might surprise some of you. And I think I'm going to take the points on the spread here with Duke versus Notre Dame, which I know is a scary bet. This is probably the scariest bet that we're making this week because Notre Dame almost beat Ohio State. Now, this is going to be at Duke. Duke Stadium is really not big enough to be a super crazy environment, but it is going to be pretty wild. I mean, number 17 versus number 11, and it's going to be Riley Leonard versus Sam Hartman. Now, I want to say that in the end, I think that Notre Dame probably wins this. I'm hoping that they don't. I wouldn't root for Duke, but I think that Notre Dame probably wins, but I think that Duke can actually keep it close, which is why I'm going to take the points here at 5.5. I think if Notre Dame wins, it's by a small margin. So we're actually going to take the 5.5 here. I'm not comfortable enough to bet money line and say that Duke wins outright. I just don't think I can, but I do think that Duke can shock some people and actually keep it close in this one. And I think that's going to be the bet that surprises most of you. And we could be dead wrong here. Notre Dame could very well make a trip out to Duke and just absolutely demolish them. But again, you got to take some chances when you're betting. And with that being said, that puts us at a 5-leg parlay plus 1328. One of the smaller ones we've done so far this season. But we're going to drop 10 on this one. And that'll have us winning $132.81. I'm going to go ahead and lock it in. I'll block the middle part of the screen here because it might show some personal information, the bet ID and all that. So we'll block that out. But with that being said, let me know what you think about my picks. A little 5-leg parlay. That Duke Notre Dame one has me nervous. And I'm not going to lie, I flip-flopped back and forth on laying the points in that Michigan game. I hope they can take care of business against Nebraska at Nebraska. They will take care of business. The question is really just by how much. But feel free to critique my picks. Again, it's been a wild 2023 college football season so far. And really, I just don't even know. There's been so many upsets. There's been so many crazy games. I'm going to continue to bet on some NFL games because for me, that seems to be where the money's at. But hopefully one of these is going to hit sometime soon. And don't forget to leave a comment because if it does, I'll share a piece of the pie with you guys. And Coop's not stingy. Even if it ends up being, a juicy NFL parlay, I'll show it the following week. But you would have needed to have commented on this video. So let's have some fun. Let's chop it up. Remember, though, guys, we're all one big happy college football family. But at the end of the day, I got to say, it's always better when you get to rep the U. Coach Coop, peace out. I'll see y'all in the next one.